Hello, people on the internet. We got a lot to cover today, so let's not waste any time and dive right on into it. Doctor Doom has taken over the island, butchering all who stand in his way, as well as collecting a gruesome array of trophies. There is also the ominous tower now watching over his castle. Doom has begun setting his plan into motion, and with Fort Nightmares not far behind now, there's a chance we might get to see Marvel zombies coming to the island. As we all know, Doom absorbed the power of Pandora's box. But before we get further into that, we gotta go back to Season 3 and the arrival of the self appointed ruler of the wasteland, Megalodon, on a mission to destroy the island and refuel his ship, the Leviathan, which runs on nitro. As we all know, nitro is a substance exclusive to the island, with the Mechanist having a monopoly over it. However, she's willing to help Megalodon refuel his ship, but it'll take time as they need to build a pipeline from her rig to his ship. Jones and Hope, fresh from defeating Zeus and the Olympic gods, begin working on a plan to stop him. On their quest, they discover 4 gems connected to Pandora's box, with each gem depicting a constellation that is linked somehow to the future. One of the constellations looks strangely similar to someone who had just arrived on the island, Wastelander Magneto. Shortly after arriving on the island, he broke open a bunker, releasing Weapon X and someone else we'll discuss more on later. His goal was to discover Megalodon's plan. Meanwhile, Hope, after discovering the constellation, decides to track down Magneto in order to find out why he's so important. Magneto tells Hope about his suspicion that Don isn't the true threat to the island, believing someone else is actually influencing him from the shadows. This was revealed to be the Wanderer, who has been observing the island for some time. Magneto believes that the Wanderer is the true threat to not just the island but reality as well, so as a precaution he set up multiple rift beacons across the island to call for reinforcements. But before they could arrive, the pipeline was complete. Don's ship was about to become operational, and we were moments away from the island's complete destruction. That is, until the Wanderer revealed his true goals, destroying the pipeline and revealing the source of the island's nitro, the Pandora's box. Shedding his cloak, the Wanderer revealed himself to be none other than Doctor Doom. Doom's true objective was to obtain the box, and he was what the constellation was truly depicting. Now, after absorbing Pandora's box, Doom has begun setting his plans into motion. However, there were many hurdles standing in his way. His first step was to gather powerful allies including Emma Frost, Mysterio, and Meowtooth in order to create his perfect kingdom. However, Doom failed to realize just how many were willing to stand against him, with Magneto being the first to oppose him, except he was helplessly outmatched, resulting in Doom, now empowered by Pandora's box, effortlessly killing him and displaying his damaged helmet as a trophy. Before his death, Magneto managed to activate the rift beacons, bringing reinforcements from an all too familiar reality, Reality 616, the same reality that helped us to both defeat the Galactus and the Imagined Order, as well as to permanently destroy the Loop. They include the Fantastic Four, Moon Knight, Silver Surfer, and even more, all rushed in order to defeat Doom. However, they too shared in Magneto's fate. They all died at Doom's hands, and he added even more to his trophy collection. In fact, the island is littered with them, including the remains of Galactus, which can be seen not far off the shore of the island. The only one to survive Doom was Mr. Fantastic, who now suffers a fate even worse than death, as he is now trapped within a glass case wrapped up into a ball, another trophy in Doom's collection. With all obstacles cleared, nothing stood in Doom's way. The island was now his, and although many tried to fight against Doom and resist his rule, they didn't realize how truly cunning he was. He sought to not become a warlord like Megalodon, instead choosing to maintain and care for his ideal kingdom, in order to prevent an uprising from his new subjects. That, however, did not stop the resistance efforts from Hope and Jones, who are now working in order to stop Doom. And thankfully they are not alone, as they now have Shuri, who fought in the Zero Wars, as well as Pilverine, who Magneto freed alongside Weapon X. With Shuri's help, Jones and Hope begin reactivating Magneto's rift beacons. Later on, we discover that Gwenpool, who's being held captive on the raft, is secretly gathering intel on Doom's and his plans. Gathering information from the gods and stealing Doom's hard drive using the passphrase Cynthia, we deliver the drive to Gwenpool, who escapes shortly after. The intel we gathered was actually for Shuri, who's been using it to repair Magneto's rift beacons in order to call for reinforcements. And if it's who I'm guessing, they'll be the central figure in turning the tide against Doom. But before we get to that, let's go back to the ominous tower near Doom's castle. It's called the Arcane Forge, and Doom will be using it to summon a far greater threat than himself. The biggest hint to who he'll be summoning is the glowing symbol that lurks near the main entrance of the tower. I'll cover more on that in a bit as well as other story related content, but first let's discuss Hope's origin. It's been confirmed that Hope isn't her true name, as well as the fact that she is also related to Valeria, who is her sister, as well as being the main villain of Chapter 5 Season 1, as well as being the one responsible for unleashing Pandora's box in the first place. Later we learn Hope's family has ties to the Greek pantheon, which explains Valeria's obsession with the box. There is also another mysterious figure who has been on the island for months, the Oracle. They've been guiding us as well as putting visions into Hope's head in order to help prevent total disaster. It was also the Oracle who predicted the arrival of both the Wasteland and Doom. It now makes sense why the Oracle has chosen Hope, due to her connection with the Greek gods. Now the only question remaining is, what is Doom's true goal? Well, the answer to that is much less sinister than you actually thought. Doom's true goal is to revive his late mother, Cynthia Von Doom, which now makes complete sense after seeing the tributes he's made to her across the island, ranging from statues to stained glass windows. Using the power of Pandora's box, Doom's killed all who stood in his way, heroes and villains alike. With the citizens now loyal to Doom, they helped to build the Arcane Forge near his castle, which continuously bellows smoke as well as having a lava pool in its interior. The glowing symbol I mentioned earlier belongs to one of Marvel's most terrifying entities. In order to gain more intel on who it is, Hope leaves recording devices near Doom. After retrieving them, we discover that after absorbing the box's power, Doom's armor was severely damaged, leaving a piece behind. This resulted in him designing a new set, which I'm guessing will be the second style in the current Battle Pass. After stealing the damaged piece of Doom's armor, we begin to analyze before listening to Doom's recordings.
Mother, I am building my new kingdom. This place reeks of failure, of fault, of imperfection. But it will not be this way for long. I will set this place to order. I will make it perfect. By gentle guiding hand, or by brutal fist of submission.
I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that from somewhere before. I think Doom's trying to recreate the imagined order. And that's not all we discovered. The recordings also revealed how unstable he's become. While this may have all begun with him trying to revive his late mother, his lust for power is beginning to consume him.
I thought it would cheer me to gaze upon this crumbling monument. Instead, I feel nothing but vacant hunger. It must be the box. It is exhilarating, but it is also wild, chaotic, uncontrolled. My work nears completion. When all is reborn in my perfect image, I will never fail again.
With Doom going on a full-on power trip now, he has tasked his men with excavating the island in search of powerful artifacts. The Resistance has also located a whiteboard in Doomstadt showcasing the location of each dig site as well as a region circled in the center of the island. We'll have to wait more for the story to reveal more about these locations, but before that, let's return to Doom's plan. At this very moment, Doom studies the box using Valeria's journal, which is currently locked away inside Doom's castle. Using her journal, he will unlock the secrets of the box and complete his new set of armor. And once it's finished, he will basically be unstoppable. We'll have to rely on Hope and Shuri to find a way to defeat him, but considering Doom's killed the likes of Thanos, this may be a battle we end up losing. However, I mentioned earlier Shuri was working on Magneto's Rift Beacons, which may bring the only hero that can help us turn the tide against Doom, Iron Man. After all, it was Tony who helped us defeat Galactus. So it makes sense once he learns about Doom, he'll get to work on a solution. The main theory is that with so many heroes and villains slain by the hands of Doom, there's only one way to fix this: time travel. Once Tony arrives on the island, he could start constructing a time machine that will help save everyone and possibly bring in a new wave of skins to the item shop. It will also stop Doom from ever finding Pandora's box. This could also be what sends us into Chapter 2, which is 100% confirmed to be taking place next season. It's the most sensible outcome for the season's finale, and would be a perfect way to end Chapter 5 storyline. But now let's get back to the tower for a sec, which is currently our greatest threat to reality. The symbol I mentioned earlier belongs to none other than Mephisto, a powerful demon from the Marvel Universe. Doom's going to use the tower in an effort to summon him for only one reason: to bargain for the return of his mother's soul. However, you should always read the fine print when dealing with Mephisto. Just ask Johnny Blaze. This will lead to the second theory of the season. If Mephisto can bring people back from the dead, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch if he brought them back in a worse state than they were alive. Which leads to him creating zombified variants of all the fallen Marvel characters, which has a greater chance of happening as it's already happened in other forms of Marvel media. The most recent form being the Marvel animated series What If. If Mephisto manages to pull this off, it would explain the urgent need for Tony to send us back in time, in order to stop this from ever happening. This has a greater chance of happening as well, since Fort Nightmares is not that far off, confirming to begin releasing in October. Going back to the time traveling, we'll be going straight back to Chapter 2 just before the flood season begins. So what could the storyline for this season entail? Well, we've already discovered that there is a golden vehicle in the promotional art for Doomstand, which means that Midas as well as the device could possibly play major roles in the upcoming season and the conclusion of Chapter 5. Thank you guys for tuning in to check out this video. I enjoyed making it. Please remember to leave a like down below if you did enjoy it. And please remember to consider subscribing to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are already subscribed, hit that notification bell to get notified for future videos. Take care guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.